Ready?
We're live.
Okay. Hello and welcome everybody to the Xbox International Airlines. We are now getting ready for Flight 28. But before I introduce this awesome flight crew, chat, how are you all doing? Hope you are all doing great today. So everyone, please be seated. Fasten your seatbelts because, as always, we get wild, crazy, and sometimes very sexy. Introducing first, the man who lost his touch on Forza Horizon 5. If you don't believe me, go watch the Xbox International Twitch from last Friday, which he lost pretty much in all the races. The man who says that Code Veronica is one of the worst Resident Evil games out there, which he is wrong. It is actually the second highest rated Resident Evil game, and we do have proof. Our handsome captain, Mr. Silent Cypher, how are you doing today, sir?
Dude, you were coming right out the gate with all this slander and nonsense about Code Veronica. My goodness, you know what? Someone must have paid you a hefty fee to have you announce that. It's like some other people that we talk about every now and then. But I am doing fantastic today, sir. It's middle of the week. I'm just kicking back and chilling. It's kind of a slow week. But I'm good with it. You know, it's really hot outside, so spending a lot of time inside. I can't complain too much.
Yep. But hey, man, we do have proof of that. In Metacritic, Resident Evil Code Veronica is the second highest rated Resident Evil game. We have proof.
Believe everything you see on the internet? Crazy.
Yeah, I do. Especially if
you still believe Santa exists too?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I do, yeah. So now, introducing the man that told me this week if I wanted a cookie because I commented that he has stopped in his fake space station in the fake Star Citizen game. Which this Monday, me and Vic the Click finally figured out why he wants to be a game developer. And that is to join the team of Cloud Imperium to finish the fake Star Citizen game. Also, still the remaining world heavyweight champion of the world record he broke in Flight 26, Mr. Sourblow. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, I'm doing alright, I guess. Sorry, everyone, for the lighting and if there's any background noise, because I got no air conditioner and I got 2 fans going on right now and it's still smoking hot here. So other than that, I'm doing great. You know, happy that it's Wednesday and I can hang out with you guys and hear Crazy Lou's BS. But yes, we're good.
My BS? No. It's actually true. I mean, you're learning how to be a game developer, and we're thinking you're gonna join Cloud Imperium to finish your fake game. So yeah, it's gonna happen. You'll see. Watch Sourblow send us a picture working in Cloud Imperium. You'll see that for sure. And last but not least, the man known to be God Louis to his XBI panel members. I always love to put that intro in it. It feels so good to feel like that.
Slander.
Also, the man who got his hands first, then Sourblow, and yes, I do deserve a cookie for that, on a Steam Deck. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah, Sourblow. Yeah. I am known also for the guy who gets picked on for saying so yeah, also, but hey, and no worries. Mr. Crazy Louie, how am I doing today? Well, guys, I am doing pretty awesome, pretty fantastic, and really happy to be on this show this week. We got a lot of cool subjects to talk about. It's going to be a really fun time, and it's going to be really rocking. But before I go to Mr. Sourblow for his flight itinerary, let me check real quick on our passengers. When I call out your name, please raise your hand and say, I am here. No, I'm just kidding, but hey, let's shout you guys out. Let's start with Mr. Dark. How are you doing today? So happy to see you here. It's Timmy. Hey, what's up, Timmy? Man, awesome to see you. Vic the Click. Right now, he is in Barahona. We got to hang out together this Monday. Man, we had a lot of fun this Monday. Lots of things we talked about. Pretty cool stuff, man, Vic. Pretty awesome. And good to meet you, too. Mr. Grasso, how are you doing, sir? Happy to see you here like you always do each and every single week. And hey, you're in 28,000 right now. 27,000 last week, 20,000 today. That's pretty awesome. Also, Doom Reaper, hello, my dear brother from Doom, who is patiently waiting for Quake to come out soon. Me too. So we can go and have a blast and shoot everything around. So I guess that's everybody. So now it's time for Sour Blow to shout out the flight itinerary. Take it away, my brother.
All right. Let's hop into the flight itinerary, which is we're going to run down some of the topics we're going to cover today. And we're going to cover a little bit of, we're going to talk about a possible Black Panther game. We're going to talk about what's going on with Ubisoft. A lot of things going on that publisher. We're going to talk about Gear 6 and, the campaign development. And we're going to talk some GTA 6 details. So I'm going to run it to our captain, which he will take it away. And he has a in-flight announcement for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Sour has turned on the subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Please stow your food and beverages next to your desk, underneath your seat, or in front of you. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt. And also make sure you've hit that notification bell. We gently remind you that smoking and drinking are not prohibited on this flight. However, conversation about you supposedly winning a handful of matches in Forza this weekend is strictly prohibited. If you have any questions about our flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight panelists. Thank you. Back to you, Crazy.
Thank you, my dear captains. So, since we are right now in playing Takeoff, Sour, what have you been playing this whole week, brother?
Okay, well, let's start off with Forza, since our captain, wanted to talk about. And to be honest, I think none of us in the panel can actually, brag about being the greatest Forza player, because we got our ass handed by the awesome community. Shout out to Carlos and shout out to Living Split Screen, which
is still rain. Still
rain. Sorry. Still rain from
their butt.
Which, yes, he did. And, there was a little rivalry going around with Carlos and Silent Cypher. I guess Silent Cypher is going to have to practice a little bit.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, other than that, real quick, I played Bright Memory Infinite, which is a game developed, I believe, by one person only, which that game looks insane for, especially for being an indie game developed by one person. It's a pretty cool game. It's pretty short. However, I think, the gameplay feels pretty good. The story is very basic, but for what it is, it was great. I do think, however, if you played the demo, unfortunately, there's some things that I didn't think made it to the final campaign. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should replay it and play around a little bit with it, because I thought it was going to be a little bit longer, and maybe I just went through it too fast. But, it's a pretty cool game. And, I also played something that I believe we're going to talk about it. Hopefully we're going to talk about it later tonight. So, yeah, I believe that's mostly what I played this week. How about you, Crazy?
Oh, before you jump on me, let me ask Silent Cypher first. Silent Cypher, what have you been playing, brother?
Oh man, well yeah. So like you guys already touched on, like Sour was saying. So yeah, Forza. We ended up playing some of the Hot Wheels before the internet got bogged down, and we had to shift to just regular Forza Horizon Vanilla. We just had to do the regular version for a bit because Hot Wheels was getting hammered by traffic. But no, it was great. Like they were saying, shout out to like Still Rain. We had all sorts of folks out there today. That day we had Pudsey early in the day. We had all sorts of folks throughout the day.
Shout out to Plume, by the way. He made me me feel good.
Dude, Plume did pretty good in some sections. I got to say though, Plume, the internet was against Plume this weekend.
Oh yeah,
I swear. Every other time that we tried to get him up and running on there, it would kick him out. So I look forward to getting back together with him on that soon. Hopefully this time the internet will agree with us and we'll get some matches in Hot Wheels too. But besides that, you know what? I went into the backlog a little bit this last week. And over the weekend, I've been going back into Red Dead Redemption 2 again.
Oh, nice.
You know, another one of those ones where every time I jump back into that game, it's like I've talked about before, right? Is like when things are busy, things are crazy at work or hectic in life, it's nice to have some comfort food. And Red Dead Redemption 2 is comfort food for me. I swear you can just pick that thing up, you can roam around freely for however long, and you always run into some weird instance with some passerby, or you find, you know, someone that's trying to lure you into a house only to rob you or, you know, kill you or whatever. Like it's always an interesting game, and there's more and more to it. Like it is the video game version of an onion. There's so many layers to that sucker. But I gotta say, I'm really happy to be jumping back into that one again. It's been too long, and I still have never finished that game. It's in my guilty pile of shame as much as my backlog. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Crazy, what about you, man? What have you been playing?
Oh man, what I've been playing? I've been playing Elden Ring and getting my butt kicked. But yeah, I'm pretty much advancing. I'm trying to beat the game just to put it aside. But yes, I'm having a lot of fun with Elden Ring, and yes, I played Forza 5 with you guys, which again, we got our butts kicked by Steel Ring and Carlos. Yeah, GC kicked our butts this weekend, and basically, guys, I think we need to practice, especially Sourblue, because Sourblue I even have videos on Sourblue hitting every single tree, every single rock. I mean, literally, Sourblue hit everything in its way. I'm not
crazy.
Kidding you. I mean, if there was a toilet in the way, Sourblue would have hit it.
Crazy, you gotta admit, I gotten much better. I even was able to beat you a few times. So
yeah. All jokes aside, I would argue that over that day, Sour did better than I did for the majority of the day. I feel like with Forza at this point, I guess it's just because I'm getting old now, but I feel like if I don't play that game on a regular cadence, it's just like Call of Duty for me now.
Someone sounds like Crazy Lou today.
No, I'm just saying it's like if I'm not playing Forza on a regular basis,
like Carlos, when Carlos first jumped in, he was trying to get ahead of things in case he lost.
Oh no. Yeah. Oh, we're playing Hot Wheels? No, let's play real racing. But no, I seriously, like you held your own pretty well in a lot of those races. I swear, man, like I thought I was just gonna shake the rust off after one or two races. That rust never came off.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to bring some Brillo pads to that sucker and scrape that rust off in a hard fashion over the week.
Yep. It was a hard fight for us. We all got our butts kicked. Yes, we did. But hey, we have finally reached the climb, so it's time for the in-flight appetizers. The in-flight appetizers. Yeah. All right, let me shake this hat.
We just lost like 20 subscribers.
Hey, you'll know why I sang that song. You'll know why. If you guys watch the TV show, you'll know why. Let me pick up.
To make people leave.
No. Let me pick up the number. And see it for today. We have. Let's start. Oh, wait. It's take forever. Oh, before I open up this number, it's the Appetizer, which consists of quick news where we will have 2 minutes for each topic. Which, if you get past the 2-minute mark, I will interrupt you and go to the next person. So yeah, guys, this is a shaking and rumbling, and let's start with the timer because yes, here we go with the first subject. Rick and Morty and LeBron James confirmed for Multiverse at San Diego Comic-Con. So, my question to you guys, let's start with Sour first. Have you played the game?
Yes, I have.
And second, what do you think about it?
Oh, it's already running? Okay, well,
Yes.
I think the game is pretty fun. I like a lot of things from the game. There's certain things that I don't like, but then I'm gonna hold my critique on the game because, the game is not really out. It's just a beta. But the game feels good, and at the same time, it doesn't feel the same like Smash. It feels different, but it is unique. One of the things I love so far is the way you can obtain coins and different things. You have different progress system, which is great. And I hope they keep it that way because, it gives you different incentives and different ways to get coins in order to get the players you want and get the things you want. And you also have the options of buying things. This is how things should be treated in form of like microtransactions and everything else. And by the way, I'm super excited for this game. We're actually gonna play it this Friday in our community night. So anyone in the chat is invited to join us this Friday.
And one last thing, Sour, who would you like to see in the roster?
Well, I would definitely like to see more DC characters. I would also like to see many of the old, there's a lot of Warner Brother characters. I mean, and Warner IPs. I believe the Matrix, it belongs to them. So maybe we could see Neo. Maybe we could see the Animaniacs, for example. That would be awesome. I mean, they have so many IPs right now. I got the timer there just messing with my head, which is pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, I think they really can. If they keep up the good job, I think they can compete with Smash, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you there, brother. And your time is up. So now,
damn timer.
Yep, your time is up, buddy. Your time is up. So now it's moving up to Silent Cypher. Again, my question to you: have you played it?
No.
Oh, Lord. So I guess this one will be short and sweet.
Yes.
And second, you haven't played it. I'm not going to ask you that question then. And who would you like to see in the roster at least, though? At least answer that.
I'm very happy that Sour brought up some of the old school ones, and I'm seeing in the chat too. Mr. Dark ended up bringing up Plucky Duck. I think it'd be really cool to see, like Pinky and the Brain, see Plucky, see a bunch of those characters I grew up on as a kid. I don't know. Selfishly, that's where I would go with it. If I were going for any, I'd go for that nostalgia, that pull that just drags me in. But no, honestly, I figured I would just save it until Friday when we're doing our community night. Because I'd been playing other stuff, so I figured it'd be a good opportunity for me to go in there, get my butt kicked, and get an introduction to it, trial by fire, as it were. But that's where we're gonna stop.
Nice. Oh, since you got some time, and when you mentioned Pinky and the Pinky and the Brain, crazy,
Pinky and the Blob.
Pinky and the Brain, crazy was like kind of like lost, or he was like, what?
I know who Pinky and the Brain is. I said, what?
You sure? Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Sing the song.
It's Pinky and the Brain. It's Pinky and the Brain.
That does not sound like it. No. That's not even the rhythm. Nope. It's the Pinky, the Pinky and the Brain. Yeah, whatever. Just go crazy. How about you, man? Did you play the game?
Oh, yes, I did, brother. I did play it, and
you enjoy it?
Oh man, it was pretty fun. I mean, I felt like I was playing Smash. It was pretty cool, and I like the way how the game plays. It's a lot of fun. I like how can I say how because Smash is like a little bit more faster on the hitting button stuff, and I like how you can combine on your combos and all that stuff, and that each character has like their own cool thing. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. I had fun. I played it for like 30 minutes just to try it out today because since I didn't play this whole weekend, I was too busy playing Forza with you guys, and then I just focused on Elden Ring, trying to kick Elden Ring's butt. But yeah, it's a really fun game, and I can't wait to just keep on playing and keep on enjoying it. And what characters what I would like to see? Oh man, I mean, in the horror side, I think they should put it in there. Can you imagine it? Who else is a WB character that's on the horror side? Silent Cypher. That could be in that game.
Well, if it is there, I'm assuming all of Stephen King's creation are probably.
Yeah.
No. Can't be.
Well, so if it's, I don't know.
I'll put some horror icons. We gotta check that list.
There'd be some licensing issues there probably,
Yeah.
but you could probably get the what was it? They had the Little Reaper in the Looney Tunes and stuff. They had that one that came around and chased them. Or what, Animaniacs? I think they had one.
Yeah, we could have that stuff. Yeah, but yeah,
dude, if you could get a cartoon version of Pennywise in there, that'd be sweet.
Oh yes, Pennywise, that'd be pretty cool. Especially him giving you the balloon and you flying off.
Yeah, I got here real quick. Warner Brother distribute most of Stephen King's work. They got The Shining, It, and
nice.
Doctor Sleep, Salem's Lot.
Ooh, nice. So now it's time to move to the second one. Let's shake that hat and see what we get. All right, here we go.
Don't need Doctor Sleep though.
No, Dr. Sleep now. Oh, here we go. Microsoft earnings are out for the quarter. What fourth quarter is it? 2022. Which Xbox hardware revenue down 11%, Xbox content and services revenue down 6%, and gaming revenue went down 7%. So over on the Xbox side, hardware revenue fell 11%, alongside 6% dip in the content and services revenue. Microsoft attributed the services declines to lower engagement hours and monetizations across both first and third-party titles. Overall, gaming revenue at Microsoft declined 7% year over year. So, Sour, do you think it contributes to the games being delayed from the first and third-party side? Also, could it be people going on vacation and canceling their service till they come back?
Yeah, well, I think that there's a lot of things that add into this. Not only vacation, also, if you think about it, what big AAA games like really came out that are, besides Elden Ring, throughout the last few months, nothing really huge came out that you would probably sit down and invest a lot of time. And even Elden Ring, it doesn't have like microtransactions and things like that. And most of the games that do got microtransactions, they have been declining. And especially during this time, like you said, it's summer. A lot of people go on vacation. They like to take time with their family. And, it's so many things that add into this. Xbox itself hasn't released, any exclusive other, and it also delayed a lot of their games. So I'm sure that this, added into it. And companies like Google also reported and they had a big decline also. So it's something that was expected. Also, something we got to take into account that the previous year, we had the pandemic, so everything went up. So now that, we still have the pandemic, but people are now, they don't care the same as they did before. So people are just going out and doing their thing. So I think all of that adds into it.
Yeah, do agree with you there, bro. Brother. So the decline you're seeing on the Xbox hardware is partly a reflection of the fact we had that launch. So what they mean is on the fact the launch they had of 2020 due to the pandemic and stuff like that. So for that launch, they are still since that launch, I mean, they are still having a lot of hardware sales because of the chip shortages. It's even affecting the PC side of things. Also, the scalpers are not helping for a person to get their hands on an Xbox console, on PC graphic cards, even PS5s are having issues with that. How long do you think this problem might continue? Also, any ideas on how they could find a way for scalpers to keep buying pretty much all of them? What do you think about that, Mr. Silent Cipher?
Man, you got to give me the scalper question, huh?
Yeah.
So
Yes, I do.
I think one of the things that we saw, early on when PS5s and Xboxes were getting out there in the market and stuff, is you saw folks like GameStop. I think Target did it as well. Maybe even Walmart. They basically tried to set it up so you had basically like 2-point authentication. So that way they could deter some of the robots and some of the scalpers and stuff. So that way they didn't just have bots immediately spamming it and just ordering like, tens of thousands of those stupid consoles. I think that would be one thing, is just the more that you can kind of deter it by maybe adding 1 or 2 extra checkpoints into the process of purchasing, if you're doing it as an online option. I know that that's also kind of been a little bit shortened or a little bit beat up, just in the fact that, like, even just in the stores, like you go into Best Buy, Walmart, stuff like that, they don't usually have the consoles. Like Series X and PS5s, they don't carry in the stores right now, usually. You'll see Series S, but again, I mean, that's a lower profit, like that's a lower dollar item. So they've been more willing to keep some of those on. They don't worry about the theft as much, it seems like. But yeah, I think that's my biggest thing, is just more checkpoints to kind of reduce that possibility that someone can just go in, set up a bot, and it just orders everything that they have on hand.
Can I say 2 things real quick?
Go for it, brother.
Okay,
Go.
one thing real quick is that, most of the loss, I think 6% of it, had to do with the currency change, because for example, the coin in Europe, it's not worth the same what it's worth now, and I think about 6% of that is because of that. And we gotta take that into account. And the other thing I wanted to say is, Crazy, can I ask you your 2-minute question?
Go for it, brother. Go for
Okay.
it. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna mix it with a question in the chat, which Jedi Peter says. Wait, where did the question go? Okay, yeah, they said that Game Pass numbers offset off the losses. What do you think they're up to in subscriber? His guess is 32 to 35 million. So the question will be, what do you think they're up in numbers of subscribers? And I will also ask you, what do you think they need to do to continue to grow the Game Pass subscription?
Oh, wow. That's a big one for me right there. What I think they need to do? Well, they need to really focus hard on the marketing side, because it's something that Microsoft needs to keep on working on, and how they can push that service so people can get into it. And they, like you said, on the number side, on the subscribers, I don't think, since we're in the summertime, people take vacations and stuff like that, so I think it could be a little bit down, but I think it has gone up. And another way those numbers keep on going up, it all depends on what else they put into it. Because remember, Game Pass, when it all started, I think it was 2017 or 2018. My numbers could be wrong, but I remember when Game Pass started, I saw this subscription service, and all the games it had was pretty much games that I already bought. And I was like, why should I subscribe to this? But because I have pretty much all the games I want to play in there. But then all of a sudden they came out with the Ultimate Game Pass thing. I was like, this looks interesting. Let me do this and put myself in the Ultimate Game Pass, which gave me better deals. And also I was seeing on the way it was going with the cloud gaming and all that cool stuff. And now all of a sudden 2020 came in, and we got the Series X and the Series S, and we started getting third parties day one inside the Game Pass, which is something we were not expecting, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, it all depends on how much stuff they put in there and the games they're going to put in there. Because seriously, we all know why a lot of the developers have decided to delay the games, and it's because since the Unreal Engine 5 just came out in April, was it in April? Am I right? Right, April it came out when they finally decided to let go Unreal 5. So since Unreal 5 came out, and it's a lot more easier to drag games from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5, some developers have delayed games to pass it on to Unreal 5, so it could be pretty much next gen. But yeah, that's what they gotta do. That's what they gotta do. They gotta keep on putting those games and market them real strong, so people can say, "Hey, I want to get that Game Pass. I want to get into it." Yeah, that's my thoughts on that side.
Okay.
Did I jump on one question though, Sarah? Because you asked me three.
Pick a number. Pick a number. So what number subscriber you think they have?
Oh, the number of subscribers? I don't think they're in. They're gotta be between 30 and 35. I think so. Since last time it was in 25, it could be 30, 35.
It's a little bit too safe. You gotta be exact.
Exact? Oh man, I'll probably say 33, to be exact.
33. You gotta be something like 32,332,000. Okay, now 30. Anyway, quick question before we move on. There's another question from the community. Dark says, I noticed that they mention engagement is down with Sea of Thieves and Forza and Halo. Do you think Infinite contribute to the decrease in engagement?
No, contributed to that.
Sorry.
Yeah, the decrease. It could because that Halo is having like a delay with the with the co-op and a bunch of stuff. It could be part of that decrease. They could happen, but only on Halo though. But then you got all these cool games that are on there that pretty much are helping Game Pass going through. I mean, seriously, what did we get this month? Didn't we get a big game this month or two? We got Watch Dogs 2. As Dusk Falls came in, which was a pretty good game too.
We got the Hot Wheel DLC.
The Hot Wheel DLC that jumped in, and the Hot Wheel DLC.
Yeah, but
was a big push.
These numbers probably don't take into account this month.
Oh no, they don't take into account.
This is probably reporting.
What about you, Silent? Do you think Halo contribute to this, or sorry about that?
Try again. Okay. Rewind.
Yep.
Do I think Halo contributed? What?
Yeah, that's the word.
God, I don't know. I don't. Do I think that Halo drove those numbers and pulled from other games? Is that what we're saying?
No. Do you think that made the numbers decrease, the engagement?
Oh, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure I was answering it the way you were asking. No, I would not be surprised at all if that decreased the numbers. I mean, everything that we've heard out of Halo Camp for the last little bit has just been a black eye every time. Like, I feel like we're watching a cartoon, and every time that 343 comes around a corner to say something, they step on a rake and it smacks them right in the face.
Yep.
Like, they just... there's not good news. Like, every time we hear things, it's like, guess what? Co-op. It's coming. Well, that's great, but if this is supposed to be a big multiplayer game, you should have prioritized like Forge, because then you could just let the community create maps for you, so that way while you're stuck not bringing out maps, they could continue to revitalize the constant traffic, the multiplayer.
I'm gonna interrupt you right there, Silent.
Sure.
Halo Infinite has its huge problem, and I'm just gonna say, I don't think that has to be the main issue why these numbers are decreased. I don't think it at all, because if you think about it, who's gonna play Halo Infinite and who's gonna be, interested in Halo Infinite is gonna be people that like shooters. And if you think about it, most of the other shooters that would compete with Halo Infinite, even if you're not happy with Halo Infinite, they're still on the Xbox platform. So I don't think that drove the numbers down. I think it had to do more with the other things.
I would definitely say it's not the main contributing factor, but I would definitely say
It could, but I
But-
don't think much. I don't think
but
they
think
did
about
much.
again, going back to what you guys were talking about
And-
earlier,
okay.
is stuff like summer vacation, stuff like that as
Yeah,
well, or even
I think
just
that.
like even if you're still at home. I mean, you know how it goes. Is like you got kids in different camps and stuff like that. So even if the kids are at home, you're still bouncing around all over the place playing, daddy daycare when they're on
Yeah.
summer break. So
Definitely.
you don't get as much time.
It's not the same.
I'm sure yours and mine are both dwindled compared to what they are during like the winter.
Oh yeah.
So I a lot of different contributing factors, I'm sure.
All right. And let's get the last but not least one. Let's get it real quick. Let's see. Let's see which it is. Man, why is this? I'm pretty good at folding these pieces of paper.
Yeah,
but I'm just not
you're
good
gonna have to get someone else to fold these.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You're gonna have
Oh.
to get you a Vanna White to
Yep.
take care of it for you
Oh.
off to the side or something.
Here we go. Oh. Microsoft continues to make moves. First one is Discord voice calls arrive on Xbox. Improved boot time to Series console. And also Verizon selling Xbox consoles via Xbox All Access. Sour. What do you think about this move?
Oh, this is awesome. They're making a lot of great moves on
Yeah.
the I would say on the service side and on making the console the most accessible and the most comfortable. They're doing a great job on that. It's one of the things I love about the Xbox ecosystem is I can jump on my PC and then I can jump on my computer, then I can jump on my phone. The all access is great. That's actually how I got my first console. I jumped into all access because at the moment I wanted, I had the money put away to get my console. Then unfortunately I had to use it for something else. But I wanted my Xbox console, and they had this sweet program where you can get the console with no money up front. I still was gonna pay for Xbox Game Pass, so I was like, "Oh, this is a crazy deal." So I took it, and I'm sure there's many people, and many kids even. Like, imagine you're a kid, and you don't have money for a console. Your parents don't want to give you the money for it, but you can get the All Access program, and you can get a Series S. You can jump into the new generation, and maybe you can plow the snow, or you can mow the lawn, and you can get some money, and you can actually pay for your All Access. So this is great. This is a great entry for many users, including smaller countries like the Latin American community where they don't have the same accessibility, and I see that these programs are actually reaching these other countries. So I think this is great.
All right.
I still got time. Still got time.
You only got 12 seconds. If you got one more thing to say, 10 seconds.
I love
Go.
the chat.
Oh, okay. Oh, so Cypher, with this Verizon move with Xbox All Access, how do you feel if you walked into your cell phone provider and say, hey, they say, hey to you, how would you like to improve your phone and get an Xbox console with that?
Dude, I think this is smart. This is really smart for them, right? Like, any time that you can put something like this, a console in there, or even just like what they did in the first place, the subscription service, as it started out a couple of years ago when they started doing that, it makes so much sense, right? Like if I go into a store and I see a $500 or $600 console sitting on the shelf, that's not an impulse buy to me necessarily. Now, maybe for some people they're in a different place with their life, but that's not an impulse for me. However, if you go into a T-Mobile or a Verizon or somewhere like that and they've got a console and they're like, hey dude, you could get this for like $30 a month, the simple side of your brain kicks in and's like, oh dude, that's just like a cell phone monthly payment, like that's no big deal. And so all of a sudden you start making those those rationalities and stuff to be like, oh, I could totally afford that. That's no big deal. $30 a month is nothing. And honestly, like, you know, we've talked about it in the past, but it is a really killer deal because you're talking no interest on it. So you're literally just paying off the console and your Xbox Live Ultimate subscriptions. Like, and I think it ends up actually slightly less or somewhere really close. Like it's
less.
Yeah. It's so, you know, with that, it's like that on its own, I think is great. Personally, the more times you can put something like that in front of someone and just make it so it's more of like an impulse buy, the better they're going to do with stuff like that. Like, I'm convinced eventually I'm going to see the thing in my local ice cream shops because I feel like they're getting to the point where they will get this thing anywhere in the market that they can get you to even consider just picking one up on a whim.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna interrupt you there because I see Crazy Lou sweating there with the timer. How about you?
He just hit the 2
Oh, okay. How about you, Crazy? You live in Dominican Republic currently.
Yep. Yes, sir.
What do you think about the All Access and everything, you know, Xbox has been doing lately?
Oh, if they had it here, they would cheat me out probably. Yep. It would be $30. No, they'd probably charge you like.
They don't have it over there. I thought they did have it.
Yeah, right.
No. They don't.
No. If they do, I mean, seriously, I think with the financing and stuff, probably costs a lot more than you going to buy it in the store. But hey, I'll be honest with you. If that actually did happen, either way would be pretty cool. I mean, the way they're doing it is fantastic, and also you will get discounts if you go to Verizon cell phone provider. You get discounts also on stuff on Xbox accessories, controllers. Also, a Razer and cool stuff, you know, the stuff that Razer has for Xbox, you know, you get discounts for that too. Pretty much you get discounts for a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, the whole idea, the whole concept of them partnering up and giving you access to an Xbox, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And just like you said, paying just cheap, let's say phone and Xbox, let's say paying $60 a month, that is nothing. Brand new phone and brand new console just for you to play for monthly charge, that's pretty much fantastic. That's pretty cool. And also, discounts, man, anything with a discount in it, I'm all in, baby. I love discounts. That's my thing. If I get things with a discount, boom, I'm right there. Pretty awesome, pretty fantastic. So, yeah, that idea is pretty freaking cool. So, hey.
Another thing, real quick, I want to applaud Xbox for doing is that, you know, in many of these other countries, like, you know, Brazil and all these other countries, these consoles are actually more expensive because you gotta take into account, you know, shipping and all of that. And what they're doing in a lot of these countries is, you know, they're reducing the service and they're actually eating a lot of these taxes in order to accommodate us, the user, which is amazing. I really applaud Xbox for doing that.
How much, guys, real quick, how much, like, for example, if you get a Series X, how much is the price with the tax over there? Let's say for you, Sour, real quick, how much is the price over there if I got it from where you live? Would it be like $530, $540, $540, or would it be $515?
Series X, $570.
Okay, $570. Okay, okay. Let's say I bought it for $570, $55. That's 31,350 pesos here, times the percentage. That's 536, and the weight, which is 17 pounds. 36,000, 17 pounds.
They charge your weight over there.
Probably 40,000 pesos. So let's divide 40,000 divided by 55.
On top.
So the console here, an Xbox Series X here will come out in $727 here in Dominican Republic.
Yeah, super expensive.
Yeah, super expensive.
Things are super expensive.
Yeah, but stores here, they sell it to you for $1,000. Crazy insane. Yep. Yeah.
Of course.
So before I hand the controllers back to our sweet, awesome, fantastic captain, which he did really bad, and we got a Code Veronica sucks here, and which he did pretty bad in Forza. But hey, let me just do a real quick shout out on the guys that just made it into the chat real fast. Let's go up little bit. We got Jay Vargas in the house. Hello, Jay Vargas, my brother. Jedi Knight Peter, hello, mates. How is Australia, my brother? Barely making rent. Happy to see you here, brother. Really happy I am. Eternal Shaddai, mi hermano Puerto Rico. How are you doing, brother? Let's get going down the list. Who else I have to shout out? Okay, I already shout out to Vic. I saw Umbra. Hello, brother Umbra. Hope you're doing fantastic. And Ham Solo is here. He said that Code Veronica sucks, but hey, Ham Solo, guess what? We have found proof that it's actually the second highest rated game of the Resident Evil series. We have proof of that.
Proof provided by Resident Evil fans. So
did you shout out Doom Reaper and
I did.
Boba Fett?
Oh, Boba Fett was here. Boba Fett again. Boba Fett. I did not see Boba Fett. That is oh, there he is. Hello, Boba Fett. How are you doing, man? I hope you're doing awesome, and I hope you're still wearing your Mando armor, man. That Mando armor is pretty fantastic. Wish I had one. I gotta order one day. So hey, before the Cassie grabs the controllers, remember, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed, and also hit that bell so it can tell you when Xbox International and other content goes on. So Captain, take it away. Go to your cruise mode.
Oh man, the pressure. I don't know if I can handle it, but you know what?
Grab it.
We have what?
Oh, grab.
I was joking. I can totally handle it. Crazy.
Oh,
Come
awesome.
on.
Awesome.
But you know what? We have gotten to the cruise of this flight, so we're going to get into our 3-course meal, or our main topics this evening. So the first thing we are going to talk about is the fact that a Black Panther game is in the works. According to Jeffy Grub, a Black Panther game is in development titled Project Rainier. Developed by the new studio, headlined by ex-Monolith VP Kevin Stevens, and published by EA. Open world single player game with where the player becomes the new Black Panther. So, based on everything we've heard so far, sounds like it's going to be early in development at this point. So, probably won't see anything for a while, but. Jeffy Grub always has his finger on the pulse when it comes to these things. His sources are usually pretty good. So I'm excited that this is a thing. I know we had heard that there were going to be some more Marvel superhero games coming. So cool to see this happening. But with Phase 5 and 6 of the Marvel movies and shows that are already announced and rumored, and now to be rumored like a Black Panther game that we have coming, do you think that we'll once again see superhero games coming to us like what it used to be back in the 2000s? So that's something for me that gets me excited. Just the idea that, you know, we're starting to see more of these comic book franchises, all these things actually be taken more seriously and given more reverence than what they had for a while. You know, you look at stuff like the Daredevil movie, the Ben Affleck movie, right? Like there was a period in time where some of the stuff we saw was like, oh boy, like, you know, I'm happy to be a comic book fan and I love video games and stuff like that, but man, why did they make this movie? And I hope they don't make a video game. But it seems like we're starting to get past that point again, to where they're actually like they're putting in some real good quality time. They're putting good teams on these games and projects. So like I was saying, and we'll bounce it to Crazy first. So do you think, because of this, where we've got this rumored Black Panther coming, do you think we're going to get back to those glory days of seeing stuff like X-Men, or like seeing, you know, the Wolverine game and stuff like that, seeing Deadpool games and stuff like that? Do you think we're going to start seeing that high quality caliber on superhero games again?
Yeah, I mean, we've been having it for a while. I mean, last generation, what superhero games? We actually didn't have that much, didn't we? No.
It was just pretty quiet there for a bit.
It was pretty quiet, yeah. We only had Batman and Spider-Man pretty much, for last generation. And we did get a little bit of, what's this game called? I love this game so much. It's actually one of the best Marvel games made. Oh, man. I played it for 360, but it only came out for Switch. They did Civil War as the second part.
Talking about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3?
Yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Okay.
That came out only for Switch. But yeah,
3 yes.
yeah. But here's the thing, though. I'm happy that they're actually bringing that stuff back because in video games, it's a good way for you to get away. Like, hey, I want to be Spider-Man running around through buildings, or I want to be Hulk and smash everything that's in the way, or be Judge Dredd and saying grenade and the gun talking to me back, say grenade, stuff like that, and shooting everything in the way. Punisher, oh man, that Punisher game that came out of the 2000s, I love that game so much. That was an awesome Punisher game. Punisher needs to be brought back. Spawn, oh baby, can you imagine a new Spawn game for nowadays? Oof, that would be pretty amazing. And yeah, I mean, they are gonna bring it back because they're popular. Superheroes are right now super popular thanks to the movies and everything that came out from Disney and all that stuff. It's pretty fantastic, and I'm happy that they keep on that they're bringing them and bringing them and bringing them. They really need to come back. Superhero games are really missed. Same as horror, because last generation we didn't have that much of horror, and now we're getting horror back too. So yeah, bring them back, baby, all the way.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100% that, just like with those, we are definitely seeing the rise of horror again, which, thank God, it's about time. Because I feel like there for a while, man, it was like a desert for horror games.
Same with superhero games. I mean, seriously. Yeah. Thank God they're bringing them back. And also, the fact that it's going to be open world, can you imagine it being in Africa? Oh, that would be insane.
Wakanda, in Wakanda.
Yeah. In Wakanda. Yeah.
Wakanda, but it's
a part.
Wakanda.
Yeah, it's in Africa.
Okay. I was like, what? Did I get lost there?
I'm excited for you mentioned that setting, and that gets me really excited for the visuals because you think of that. You think of that open world that could be in, visually, yes, there's a lot of tan and brown because of desert and stuff like that, but you've got so many cool little segments throughout. But especially with HDR, I could look amazing, walking through there, flying through there, or whatever.
Look at me start saying a Swamp Thing game. Totally agree with you there. Not a Swamp Thing game. We should get a game for DC. DC Dark game. That's what we should get. We should get John Constantine, all those guys all together. That would be a mashup. That would be insane.
No, you know what? Don't even give me a mashup on that. Just give me a John Constantine game.
Oh yeah,
on its own. I'm good with that.
Ooh, imagine Ninja Theory.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna get into some of that here in a few minutes, but so Sour, I'm gonna bounce this to you. So if we do actually see this this renaissance of superhero games starting to just come out from left and right all the time, like what we used to see, if this happens. I guess okay. So I guess we'll jump right into it. But basically, what other superhero games would you like to see? If we ended up doing something like this. So Black Panther, obviously we started jumping into John Constantine and stuff like that. But what other superhero games would you like to see them make? And I would challenge you, do something that isn't just a given. Right?
Okay.
Come up with something that's a little bit rarer.
Okay,
What's superhero?
Before that, let me correct Crazy Lou on something. He says, superheroes are very popular, and it is true, they're popular. However, you know what's really popular right now? Games, and that's what everyone's jumping into. That's why horror is back. That's why superheroes are coming back to to the gaming industry. That's why we having all these old movies IPs also being revived, and I think gaming is just going to keep growing. Everyone is jumping into gaming, and it's only going to grow. So yeah, I'm super excited. I think this is going to be the best generation probably ever. Hopefully, it gets better from here on. Hopefully it doesn't dive back down. But anyway, what do I want to see? That John Constantine sounded great. It sounds great, especially, Ninja Theory. Oh, my God. That sounds amazing. Something I would love to see that I was waiting for the movie. Unfortunately, Warner has their issues, and that it might never happen now. but I want to see a full-on Deathstroke. I mean, we talk about superheroes, but what about the villains? I mean, there's some great villains, and I think Deathstroke has a great story to tell. I think you give me a great Deathstroke story, and with great mechanics, great gameplay, and maybe have someone. Imagine the Coalition having making this Deathstroke game. I mean, that will be sick and amazing. And that's one of the games I would love to see.
But here's the thing, Salvador, what I was talking about earlier about on superheroes being popular.
Dude, I'm just messing with you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna fight with you there.
He's ready to fight. Oh my god.
Yeah, I got my hands
getting
on.
so surly. Getting
Yes,
so
I
surly.
would.
You're getting sensitive.
Well, before I get Crazy's take on that, one that I personally would like to see that's kind of out in the weeds, one that I'm sure no one's gonna pull for, but you know what? I think it would be great because you could still bring the actor in to do voice acting for the character too. I would like to see them make a Darkman game.
Darkman.
Darkman.
I
Do you
think I know
you
Darkman.
you don't recall Darkman at all? Then
Yeah, I do. I
So-
saw the movie. Just don't forget, he had like a white bandage on, but he was part of. Yeah.
So kind of like an Invisible Man or like a Hollow Man type of situation, right? Goes invisible.
Oh, he looks like the guy from the Watchmen's.
yeah,
yeah.
kind of. Yeah. But he had like a bunch of bandages on. He was
Okay.
like burnt or something. But it's a good
But
movie.
that's something that would be kind of an interesting one. Now, granted, it's kind of a B movie thing. So unfortunately, like, I don't know. I don't know what team I would put on that one. I guess in a scenario like that, it'd be one of those things where I'd want to put like the Sunset Overdrive team on it.
Oh.
But yeah, no, Darkman's one that I would like to do. But we'll get into studios.
I don't know though, but about that, cause like, the Sunset Overdrive team. You look at Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
You look at Spider-Man, and you look at Ratchet and Clank.
Mhm.
They don't, I would like to see something, because from what this character looks like, he looks more of a darker character. That's why I'm excited to see their Wolverine, to see how that's gonna come out. Because if it plays like Spider-Man, I'm sorry to anyone out there, but I wouldn't want a Wolverine to play like Spider-Man. Like it has to play completely different. I want a darker approach. And even the gameplay mechanic has to feel and be different. Just saying. Not hating, but I just think that.
I think the only reason why I go with them on that is because I know that they can kind of go a little more lighthearted. Maybe not necessarily with the mechanics as much, but just like their approach on it, I feel like would be more lighthearted to it. And Darkman, like it wasn't like some grim, grisly, super dark thing. Like it was very B movie, at that time. But Crazy. I do want to float this past to you also.
Crazy. If you just say the person I think you're gonna say, you're getting a timeout.
What person am I gonna say?
I'm just
Wee wee man.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna have it ready right down here in the chat.
Get ready for it.
But what person was gonna say? I
No,
was gonna
just-
say Punisher.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
good.
Okay,
good.
now you have me curious.
I'll
Well,
tell you
I
once you're
figured you
done.
were
I'll,
gonna go-
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, for me, I mean, seriously, I want back a Punisher game. I mean, I remember playing that Punisher game that came out for the old Xbox box and for the PlayStation 2. That was a fun Punisher game. It got a rating of 5, I remember, but hey, it was crazy. I mean, I remember you grabbing the guys, just put them in like in the saw, torturing them, or you're like hanging them, and then there were sharks beneath them, and all of a sudden you kill them, and the shark comes up and eats them. Oh man, that was just some crazy stuff. That game was really advanced for its time for me. I mean, I loved it so much, and I would love to see that. And also, something about with Barely Making Rent, he did mention something with Superman. I don't know how the heck. I don't know how. I mean, every time I hear people talk about a Superman game, I sit down and say, "How the hell can they make a Superman game that actually can work?" It's a hard game to do because Superman, since he's the Man of Steel, is like you sitting down and partly making, what's his name, a Chuck Norris game, hard to kill guy, you know. So, but damn, Superman game. I mean.
It always goes back to Chuck Norris. I swear.
Oh, they did. Han Solo mentioned the Chuck Norris kid. I was like, yeah, I agree with you there, Chuck Norris. But yeah, but no. But I'm saying like, you know, how can you make a Superman game? I mean, it's a pretty hard game to make. And I sit down, I like think about it. Could it be like kind of like Batman style, or I don't know. It's just hard.
Of which
it's hard.
Of which it's, you know, it's not really much of an argument or debate, but like there's never been a good Superman game.
Yes, yeah, actually is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Superman Returns on 360?
Nope.
Which one?
Oh, the Death and Return of Superman that came out for Super NES. That was a really good game. It was a side-scroller beat 'em up. It was a fantastic game. It's actually one of my favorite beat 'em up games.
Okay. So as far as a 360, or sorry, as far as a 3D Superman game.
I feel like for a Superman game, 3D game, I think it would have to be someone maybe like Rockstar that does a lot of the little details, because that's one of the things that you kind of have to get right. Because like you know, if you have destructive environment, which you could have in of course you have to have in a Superman game, but we have to be able, in order for it to be good, I think you have to be able to see that, you know, they rebuilt things and you can see the progress of the city. I mean, that would be amazing, but that's a hard challenge though. At the same time,
can you imagine Sarah Blow just be Superman? I mean, look at him driving and force, and thank God the house don't break down. Imagine him being Superman in the city. I mean, literally, I think the city in 10 minutes will be all broken up in pieces with Sarah Blow or Superman.
Oh my God! Another hard game that, you know, Ham Solo mentioned would be the Flash game, because you know, you having a game that of the Flash, you know, that you got to get the feel right of the speed. And, you know, Flash is pretty powerful, you know, also superhero. It's pretty hard with a lot of the DC characters because they're pretty powerful.
But so, you know how it can actually work if they added the whole, like, you know, the whole story with the because this story actually did work. What's it called, for Injustice? Like, if you add the whole pill thing that Batman had, that if you take the pill, you can actually be as strong as Superman or something like that. If you can add that to the game, then you can probably make a good Superman game.
But do you want everyone to have, you know, like all his villains gonna take the pill? Like, you know, I don't know.
Or it could be that what's this guy's name? What's this guy's name? I forgot. Darkseid comes around and he brings in some tough ass villains and to kick his butt, you know.
Sour, I'm gonna throw something in there as kind of a monkey wrench to your comment, though. Is like, you were saying, what, you have them all take the pill? No. You just do what Scarecrow did in Batman Begins, and you poison the water mains and make it a steam, so if people inhale it, then you affect a bunch of people at once.
It's like Bane with his venom, like, you know, he gets all pumped up. Can you imagine, like, that'd be a pretty good idea for a Superman game. Then that game would work. But here's the thing, though. Now, here's the complicated part of all this. Because Superman only throws punches. It's not like Batman. Batman is agile, jumps around, kicks, and does all that stuff. That's why the game looks so cool. But how would the fight be? So yeah, it would be pretty weird.
You'd almost have to, in every scenario where he was in a fight, you'd almost have to introduce kryptonite. So that way it's like, oh, I'm weak. Okay, now I can only punch like a normal person. Because otherwise you'd go up to people and you'd hit them and they'd just disappear.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what about if they do the following? You know, you start in Earth as Superman, and maybe, you know, you do some of the missions there, you know, pretty quick because, you know, of course you're Superman. But then maybe, you know, Darkseid comes and I don't know, take Lois Lane and then you go after Darkseid in space, and then you make the game, I guess, in in space, I guess, because
You
it's
can
like
do that. That's
or
a
go
pretty
back.
good idea.
yeah.
Yeah. Or go back
Good
to
fun.
like the remains of Krypton or something like that.
Yeah.
You find like evil Jor-El or something, or you find like some of the other folks and stuff, and you have to go through or go against them, and obviously like they're super strong too. I just
Yeah.
that's the thing. Sorry, this is going into the weeds a little bit, but like I think it's part of the reason why Superman has proceeded to just be such a hard one for people to tackle.
Yeah,
As
it's
far
hard.
as
I
the
mean,
game is, because like you're talking people that don't really have a lot of weakness.
Yep.
Yes, there's green kryptonite or whatever, but like that's
Or-
eh.
I'll give another tip. This happened in the Superman and Lewis show. He went into a weird world because it was pretty much the Bizarro Superman, but it was switching between worlds. And when the real Superman went to that world, his powers weren't the same as in the real world. So if that can happen too, that could be a pretty good storyline. Like if Darkseid takes him away into a world like that, where there's like a little bit of red sun and a little bit of yellow sun comes in. And yeah, but again, the thing is, Superman only punches, doesn't do kicks like Batman does and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
it's also very much, it's that same thing of like a Batman game makes a lot of sense because he is a human person. Like behind the cape and cowl, he's a human. Versus like Superman is just the fighting mechanics for something like that have to be so different.
It's super hard. It's super hard. Yeah, because I mean, thinking about it, super hard. Yeah.
But yeah, so you know what? One of the next things we're gonna jump onto, since we're already with you, crazy. So if you're gonna make this Punisher game,
Yeah.
or make another Punisher game, what dev team do you think would be the best option for a Punisher game?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I would choose EA. I would choose EA. to make it.
Okay, so I'll make it more granular. I'll tuck it in further, right?
All right.
So let's go into it, and let's say with this that it's going to be one that's going to be a first party studio from Microsoft.
Oh, for
Let's go
Microsoft.
with that.
All right.
Let's say if first party on Microsoft side of things, who would you take on their side of things to make
Who is the best team that makes all the blood and guts go out? The Coalition. That's it. You can't have nobody better to make a Punisher game than the Coalition.
I would disagree there.
What, the blood and guts?
Yes. Oh yes.
What?
Oh yes.
I would disagree as well, and
Oh,
I
yes.
think the chat was dead on it with this.
Well, what they say? Who's they say?
Machine Games, dude.
Nope, not even that either. With blood,
Oh,
blood and guts.
Okay. All right. So dude? Did you play Wolfenstein 1 and 2?
I played Wolfenstein 1.
Did you see
But-
the beginning of number 2?
But blood and guts,
Mhm.
it has to go to ID Games.
Yeah, but wait,
Okay,
wait,
yeah,
wait,
It has to go to them.
No. I wouldn't.
And
I swear-
that
I-
engine is
Nope.
freaking amazing.
No,
But-
no.
I would argue that
with there. Yeah, because
I
only
would
do first
not
shooters.
I wouldn't put it into
you-
that situation.
Yep.
Like if I was going to put someone into it, I'd want
Coalition.
them to have had experience in a first person
Yeah.
or third
Third
person
person.
scenario,
Yep.
but not like Doom, because Doom is very high, fast pace action. If you're doing a game like that,
Nah,
No,
like
No,
I
but
said-
well,
but if
not
you-
necessarily.
but
They have to do
Oh,
a game
wait,
like
wait.
that. So, sometimes, real quick, sometimes just like actors
dark.
or studios, they get very like excited to take on a new take on something. For example, look at Heath Ledger. He wasn't known for doing like a Joker role, and he just nailed it. And same thing has happened with many studios. Sometimes they take a new take and they really embrace it and they do a great job. Sure, they can probably take on it and it could come out a mess. But I'm pretty confident that ID Games, whatever they take on, I'm pretty sure that I think they'll do a great job. That's a very good studio.
Sour, I would say it's a little different to come to an actor and say, this is the mindset I need you to get into for a film, than to come to a game dev studio and say, this is what you're going to do. Forget how you've done games in the past.
I mean, if they want to do it, because like
But
I wouldn't go to the studio and be like, hey, you got to do this. No, if they are excited for the project and they want to do it, I would put all my confidence in them, and I know they would do a great job. Definitely.
Okay.
So, but when he was talking about the Punisher, I was thinking about the Punisher back in the Xbox old big box and PlayStation 2, right? And that Punisher game was third person. So when we were talking Punisher, I was like, if I had to choose a team to make me a third person game, third person is it? Yeah, third person game. I would choose Collision to make me a Punisher game. Now, if you're going for first person, then yes, of course, I would agree with you that id Software should.
I think people also have, I don't know. Yeah. I disagree where like, oh, this studio makes first person, so I only want them to make first person games. I don't agree with that. I would let the studio do what they want to do. If they want to do it in first person, then first person. If they want to do it in third person, then let them do it in third person. Because sometimes it's what they envision. They have a vision for a game. Sometimes, it could be third person. They think, okay, third person, it will work perfectly. Or sometimes they think, first person, it will work perfectly. Depending on whatever idea they have, because the concept could change. Like, it could be the same game, but someone could vision it a different way. And, they can have different ideas because of different mechanics or different things in the storyline they want to, highlight in the game. So, I don't know. That's just me.
Sour, can I just say that even though I disagree with you, I will say I appreciate you putting in the thought to this, because at least you're putting in some thought, unlike some of the jokers in the chat, like Mr. Dark, who says, I would put Mojang in charge of it.
Oh, wait, what? Okay, that's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
just saying, I appreciate that you put something in there, but someone tried to slide one past me in the chat. I'm watching you, Dark. I'm watching you.
He also mentioned Raven Software, but because they made the Studio Fortress stuff.
Raven will be pretty cool.
But again, Sour, we're not saying that they should. We're not saying that the developers couldn't go and experience a new thing. I'm just saying, I'm thinking about the Punisher game I played in the Xbox back in the day. That's what I'm thinking about, third person. And I was like, for me, Collision would be the best one to do it. Now, if it was a first person, then hell yeah, I'll stick to ID Software, all the way ID Software, and also Raven Software. So before we continue, can I just do one quick shout out because I gotta do it and he asked for it? My Silver Brother Stuff, Sean, hello and welcome and happy to see you here, my dear brother. There you go, you got your shout out, brother. I hope you're enjoying the show. So yeah, let's keep on going.
Oh, he said Henry Cavill in Code Veronica. Yes, as Superman, and then he just destroyed the whole game.
Henry Cavill's
See, now Dark's now he's really trying to be a prankster with it, because he said, okay, Rare can make the Punisher.
Oh, dear Lord.
No.
Rare is a pretty talented studio. The only thing they usually pick, they like, their own art style.
If I want cartoon kitty Punisher, then I will bring Rare.
They're very talented though. I gotta give them.
Yeah, they're very talented. Yeah, but instead of Rare making those things, they should just go ahead and make the Banjo-Kazooie Conquer and bring those babies back. That's what they should do. But yeah, that's a whole other topic. That's a whole other topic. Yeah, that's another topic. Yeah.
Sour. Now that we're done with the Punisher cast, Sour, with a superhero you'd want to bring back, if you could choose an Xbox first-party studio, what would be your preference for superhero and the dev team?
Oh, it would definitely have to be WoW. They got some very good studio. Well, my favorite studio is Obsidian, but I don't really envision them doing like a superhero team. So, superhero game. Sorry. So I either have to go with the Coalition or with Ninja Theory. I think those would be my two takes.
Okay.
Yes. And
Clean,
you know, if
clean
it's
and to the point.
if it's Ninja Theory, you know, something dark like John Constantine. And then if it's Coalition, the Coalition, I would give them like anything else. Like, if you're gonna do a Superman game, I would trust them to try to do it, especially on the Unreal and everything. How they dominate that engine, they could probably pull it off if anyone could pull it.
Even my budget brother agrees with me. He said Coalition all the way down. That's it. Budget smoker brother. Yep.
Something I would definitely say, because you guys keep bringing up Constantine, and it makes me happy, and now I feel like I need to go watch that movie again. But you know what?
Me too.
Actually, have you seen the TV series? The TV series wasn't bad. Part of it. It wasn't actually bad.
I will say though, and you could say I'm wrong on this one, but I just get this inkling that, man, if they brought Constantine to a game, you know what would be really cool to put that into is the folks that did Evil Within.
Well, it depends what type of game you want, though. But
probably third person over the shoulder, demon slaying.
But you want the four player versus one, or like?
What was the game?
I want strictly single player, like Evil Within. Just know what? I guess basically all I'm saying is...
Oh, Evil Within. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking about Evil Dead for some reason.
No, Evil Within.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I would really like to see them do it.
Because, Tango game.
You know, Evil Within, Tango game works. There we go. Yeah, you know, you look at Evil Within, 1 and 2, and both of them are really slick, and they play very much in that horror type of genre anyways. Man, they would be good for something.
I was gonna tell you, sorry for Keanu Reeves, but the actor that played in the series, John Constantine, he did a much better job.
Blasphemy,
sorry for Keanu Reeves. He's great. He's great as John Wick. But as John Constantine, the series guy did a much better job. Trust me. Hell yes.
Yep. But I totally agree, Bailey. And if I can do it.
Nope. You know what? I can't forgive you for the blasphemy against Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves has been some amazing characters over the years.
I love him. I love him. He's great. But as John Constantine, he doesn't even act like John Constantine. Come on.
He acts.
He does not. No, he does not. John Constantine is cocky. He's he's different. No, he's not. No, he is not.
Maybe it's because I like his rendition of him in the movie. Because he's kind of like the grouchy old man that's like, hey, get off my lawn. And I can relate to that because I am very much that guy. Like, so maybe that's why.
Okay, but have y'all watched the series? No. Okay. No. So I can't compare. So sorry about that. I have watched both, so I can actually compare.
Such slander against Keanu Reeves.
Hashtag Goofy Shower. Yep. I agree. Oh man, I'm gonna watch that movie. But also the Swamp Thing series is pretty good. But yeah, that's a whole other topic.
The Swamp Thing series is pretty good. Yeah.
That's another topic, guys.
Well, you know what? I would like to keep like diving into what makes Sour tick. What makes him hate Keanu Reeves so much for some reason. I'd like to ask, like, what's going on with Sour and his bad takes on this? But you know what? I think instead,
yes,
I'm gonna have to jump us to the next topic and say, you know what? What's going on with Ubisoft? How about that? How about we throw that pendulum over to Ubisoft right now, right? Ooh. So, in regards to Ubisoft, a little bit of a little bit of topping for this one to set it off, right? So Ubisoft has just delayed Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora from a 2022 window to sometime in 2023 or 2024. I'm getting Skull and Bones vibes right off the bat, just saying it. In its earnings report, Ubisoft had also said that it will reveal the future of the Assassin's Creed brand in September, and that it's pushed a smaller, unannounced premium game. Premium makes me nervous, especially since they've been doing all these and I don't know, whatever. We're not going to get into their shenanigans on that.
Yeah.
But it said that is set to be released in 22 to 23 or 23 to 24. Basically, the thing you're going to find as we talk about all this is that a lot of things in Ubisoft land right now are very fluid on dates. This year, the company is set to release the Mario Rabbids 2, which is set to land October 20th. And the pirate simulator Skull and Bones, as we mentioned previously, is supposed to be November 8th as well, which I'm still... I'm very hesitant on saying I buy a 2022 for Skull and Bones at this point. But, personal opinions aside, we continue on. During Thursday's call, I think it was this last week, the company said that it had canceled Splinter Cell VR, Ghost Recon Frontline, and 2 unannounced games. Which, this is common in the industry. Like, people cancel games, stuff happens before we hear about it, stuff like that. However, with everything else that seems to be going on with Ubisoft, it doesn't feel like it's just, normal operation. Like, it doesn't seem like business as usual.
Yeah.
But we continue on. Of which, so there's some other news that's been coming out. Division, they've got a possible battle royale game in the Division series that might be coming out, like, in that same world. As reported by Jeff Grubb on the Game Mess podcast, Ubisoft is potentially resurrecting the Division Battle Royale project that was previously in development for some time. The game's been known as codename Reaper within Ubisoft, and may have been in development since 2018, which makes you a little nervous sometimes, unless it's a Rockstar game or a Bethesda game. If it's been in development for a long time, you get nervous, right? Generally, no. We continue on. Reaper was ultimately shelved, however, in part due to underwhelming feedback from the early player impressions. Now Reaper may be back, retooled with more to offer and a unique battle royale experience. Ubisoft has denied claims that it's planning to cancel Roller Champions, which also came up recently in the news. The company says that it's...
Can I stop you there real quick? They actually debunked it. They said no.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, so they did state, in regards to this, they did say that they have exciting stuff planned for the next seasons. So it sounds like that is true. They are going to hold on to that for now. And then you've got the fact that you had, like, the Hyperscape failure, and then Prince of Persia, there was talk about that remake. We knew that was coming. Nothing's come of that for the last while. And then, God, we don't even want to talk about Beyond Good and Evil at this point, because it feels like Beyond Good and Evil 2 is just permanently shelved, even though they keep saying that it's still in production.
No.
So, sorry, hold on one second. I'm gonna get myself some drink, because my God, there's a lot happening in Ubisoft land.
Oh,
Yeah, there is.
So I can take a quick break. Crazy. We're gonna bounce to you with a question on this, actually.
Cool.
So, with everything that's been going on lately in Ubisoft, their earnings, having more than 22,000 employees in LinkedIn. Sorry. Do you expect Ubisoft to merge or sell anytime soon?
Yeah.
in regards to everything that's going on. Because I guess basically the biggest thing that you could say is from the outside looking in, it feels like a lot of things are getting closed, a lot of things are getting canceled, a lot of things are getting consolidated, right?
Yes,
Which
sir.
tells you potentially that there's an acquisition that could be coming. There had been talks about it previously as well. So do you expect them to merge or sell anytime soon?
I think that's what they're looking for, to be honest with you. I mean, I'll be hon- I'll give you my point of view. We'll go back to Activision Blizzard, and we did touch this subject back in the day. And I remember one of the intros with Bobby Kotick. He mentioned on how investing in what's the new tech that's coming out is pretty expensive.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking that Ubisoft could be heading that way too, because I think they don't want to invest much. I mean, 4 canceled games, one out of another, just boom, just like that. Oh, you just come on the news and say, hey, we're just gonna cancel 4 games. Why? Because yeah, why not? And focus on this game. Let's work and make Avatar perfect. Okay, when I read that, I was like, okay. And then they canceled. You remember that? Uh, you remember that show? Oh man, I'm not that show. They showed it last year. That Ghost Recon game was gonna be battle royale, 100, probably like 500 players plus or 1,000 players. Yeah, that whole Ghost Recon thing. They canceled that too. When I heard the
Shot that
split,
down quick.
when I heard the Splinter Cell VR, I was like, why the heck is Ubisoft making VR games? I mean, what? But okay, they canceled that too. Okay, but they still have not. Please, Lord, do not cancel the remake they're making from Splinter Cell, because if they actually do make it, it's gonna boost them up a bit. Because seriously, the way they're handling things is just insane. Just canceling everything, just like that, and just focusing on this part. Okay, I totally understand. And you guys want to make this Avatar game pretty good, which again, like I mentioned earlier, since the new engines are coming out, they probably delayed it to make it better. So yeah, man, I think they're ready. I think that's what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody to beat Bot by and pretty much put money on them, because seriously, the way they're going, it's almost crash landing. I mean, the whole Assassin's Creed thing, when like for example, Skull and Bones, when I saw that, I was like, oh man. Then Assassin's Creed open world and then a multiplayer, and I was like, who the heck is gonna play an Assassin's Creed open world? I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hide on top of the roof and jump down on a guy and be like, just stab him and that's it? I mean, that's pretty, I was like, what? You know? On an online thing, I was like, okay, you guys want to do it, go for it. And yeah, it's just all these crazy ideas they've been making. I was like, I don't agree with them. Remake of Prince of Persia, it could work, but yeah, I don't know.
So crazy. I'm gonna add a little extra ruffle to that, just to kind of
go for it.
to get you thinking a little bit with that.
Yeah,
Because obviously in the current situation, Microsoft is still finishing things up with ActiBliz, right?
Yeah.
So at the moment, we're not going to see anything. Do you think there's a possibility that Ubisoft will hold off long enough to get to the point where Microsoft could potentially jump in and offer an acquisition? Or do you think they're going to hit the market before this ActiBliz stuff goes up and someone like Tencent or Embracer picks them up instead?
I think it could be Tencent Embracer. If Microsoft buys it, okay, but I'd rather them buy WB on that point instead of Ubisoft. Because seriously, Ubisoft is like, it's such a huge company. They need a lot of babysitting, pretty much. It's crazy. It's just a crazy thing. Like I said, look at today. Like out of nowhere, they just come, not today, yesterday was it? They came out of nowhere. Hey, we're canceling 4 games. Okay. Yeah,
the overhead. I can't even imagine. Obviously, I don't work in a business scenario like that, but I can't even imagine the overhead for a company like Ubisoft, because you've seen their games. You've finished probably only 1 or 2 of them over the last 2 decades because of how long they are. But when you finish those games and you watch those credits, my God, it feels like they go almost as long as like a motion length picture movie.
Yeah.
It's not, I think the credits are as long as Apocalypse Now Redux. You know, you ever seen the Redux version of Apocalypse
Well,
Now? It's like a 4-hour movie.
well,
That's
well
how long
the,
the credits roll. It's
the thing
crazy.
with Ubisoft is, they
Yeah.
have all these studios. They have 22,000 and something employee. That's in Lincoln, which
21,000.
22,000. Sorry, which
20,000?
yeah, 22,000 plus.
Yeah,
Which
sorry.
it could
Yeah, they
it,
have.
it could even be more because that's just the ones that are in Lincoln, and a lot of these studios work on different games like at the same time. Like it's not only one studio. Like this studio makes this game, this studio makes this game. No, they all like trickle in and work at it. So that's why in those
Yeah.
credits you probably see.
Oh, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
insane.
you've got like 30 different little teams that are working on it. And granted, yeah, they're not all top tier AAAs. Like there's a lot of support studios in there. But my God, yeah, and yeah. So I think I fumbled the wording on it earlier, but yeah, like 22,000 on LinkedIn alone, which, like you said, that's not to count the folks that aren't even on LinkedIn, which I'm sure there are plenty, especially in some of those support studios internationally. But yeah, so I mean that's a big thing. But Sour, we're gonna bounce it over to you real quick with a question. With game announcements and Ubisoft wanting to have their big game as a service technique going forward, what do you think their approach will be? Like, what do you think their approach should be in regards to all this? Do you think the games as a service decision is a good idea? Do you think that's just going to be a fad that's only going to keep them afloat for a while? What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think their focus should be more on, making great games. Especially, they have a lot of IPs that people love and had engaged in the past. For example, Good and Beyond Evil. You have Prince of Persia. They need to bring those games back, of course, and make great single player games. And, of course, they can also try to make their IPs, which some of them will fail, unfortunately for them. But, they need to stop with the idea where, okay, we have Assassin's Creed. Let's make it. It's a popular game. Okay, let's make it a game of a service. Oh, we got this game.
Yeah.
Let's make it a game of a service. No, those games are popular and
Yep.
people love them because they love the way the game are as they are. They don't want
Yep.
the game to actually
Mhm.
completely change into a game of a
Yeah.
service. So, yeah, and if they are gonna change, you better make sure you nailed it, cause like
I mean, I, I mean, Sarah, I agree with you there, but like I said, I think I mentioned it the other day about Skull and Bones, right? Instead of just making Skull and Bones, what I would have done, on my point of view, I would have grabbed the whole Black Flag game, make it a remake from zero to all the way remake, and add Skull and Bones into that game and just make it a package, and you would actually buy it. You would say, "Hey, I got Black Flag and Skull and Bones, and I want to see this Black Flag because Black Flag is fantastic. It's one of the best Assassin's Creeds."
and,
And you
And
add
the-
that to that, it makes it a lot better.
and the
You know?
thing is, like, okay, if you just want to focus on a multiplayer game like that,
Yeah.
I understand. You're of course you're putting probably a little bit more of work into it, but in order to compete, you already have of course different graphics and different game mechanics, but you kind of have a competitor, which is Sea of Thieves, and they're doing great on their end. And the reason why they're doing so great is because it's easy accessible with Xbox Game Pass. So maybe make the game free to play. And also, from what I've seen from the game, also there's a lot of mechanics and a lot of things that it's not very engaging for a community that wants to play like multiplayer game. Like when you play a multiplayer game, you want to jump in, have fun. That game for me, when I saw it, it doesn't look fun. Unfortunately, So, that's one thing they kind of got to work on. You see this, for example, the roller. What is it called?
Yeah, it's the Roller Champions.
The roller champion doesn't look bad, But you know, in these games as a service, there's a lot of things that go in, and we're seeing that, for example, with Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, I think they nailed the gameplay. The feel of the game is great. I think the artwork is great for Halo. But then there's many other things that comes in account, which probably 343 wasn't taken into consideration, and that's what happens with a lot of these these games. Basically, even some of the games that have been successful, they have had to pivot and make changes and adapt to the situation. I would say I can't really think of one game that came out day one as a service and probably knocked it out of the park. Can you think of any? I don't think there have been.
Rainbow Six, just Rainbow Six.
No.
This was basically, it was only basically multiplayer. No, the Rainbow Six game, the multiplayer one.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
What it started out with versus what it is now, it is not even the same game.
Yeah, completely.
I don't know. I don't know.
Season one of that was not anything like what it is now.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is now, but all I know is it was really popular. I mean, Rainbow Six is.
It was. It was. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was definitely popular.
Like you could take Apex Legend, for example. When it came out, they weren't expecting the game to hit that hard, and that's why they had to double down on that game. But they wasn't prepared for it. They just released the game, and they weren't expecting that community to embrace that game so much, to the point where, like, look how the game has come out to become. It become a phenomenon. What's wrong with me and my words today? Oh
no, guys!
It's the air conditioner, guys. It's the air conditioner.
If you can find, please, an Encyclopedia Britannica, please send it to Sarah Blow's home. You guys find that?
It's the air conditioner today.
Oh, sorry, Sour. It happens to all of us, right? But no. So yeah, I mean, I think the thing, and I'll just touch on Skull and Bones real lightly, but I think their hope, right? Because Crazy, you mentioned the fact that obviously Black Flag was a big one for them. Right?
Oh man, that was
like the story, everything about it, just the world in general, the sailing, all that stuff was great.
It was a fun game.
I feel like at that point in time, they thought, okay, you know what, we could separate just the ship mechanic side of things on this and keep Assassin's Creed doing its own thing separate, and make them two different experiences altogether, which like that's a great idea, I guess, if you're trying to diversify the portfolio, but it I don't know. I mean, I guess only time will tell, but it feels like it's not going to work out for them.
Because I remember that it was going to be like part of the Black Flag situation. I think they talked about it was pretty much it was going to come out of it, something like that. The idea came out of Black Flag.
They had the off, or what was it? It was the one that they split off of it, and they ended up doing it as it was mainly the ship mechanics and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm forgetting the name of it.
But like I said, if you would have brought back Black Flag and just add Skull and Bones in there, I mean, that would have been a big hit. Not only for Skull and Bones, also for Black Flag, because if you're playing Black Flag, like, hey, let me just try it out to the Skull and Bones instead of making people pay. How much is it? 70, 60?
Yeah,
I think it's 70.
That's the thing, though, is like it'd be 70, yeah,
that's insane for just a multiplayer, and that's a lot of money.
Like, would I appreciate the idea, kind of like what you're saying, just lump it in there? Yes. But that being said, based on, I mean, all the things that we just talked about and what we saw, it feels like potentially Ubisoft is in a financial situation where they're looking for money because, I mean, maybe they're hemorrhaging money in certain aspects, and so they're just grasping at whatever they can to make some dough. If they can, and if not, again, potentially maybe they go into acquisition with something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think real quick, a lot of their games doesn't fit the criteria of like the type of games they want to make as a game of a service. One game that they are thinking of
Yeah.
making, kind of like a game of a service, and I think it could work. However, I don't think they should. I mean, might work also, which is the Division. They're trying to make supposedly a kind of like a battle royale.
yeah.
But
They did.
what I would like them to do actually with that game is make more of kind of like an MMO survival game where you create your player and you're put in this world, and you kind of like, you gotta survive, and you interact with other players. You have PvP, you have PvE, and you have different things. I think that could actually work if they put the work into that. I think that would
Yeah.
be pretty good.
I'll tell you something though. I mean, the franchise they have, just Tom Clancy. I think they gotta go back and sit down and reread all those Tom Clancy books or whichever Tom Clancy book there is out there to get an idea and do a game.
Man,
Just so because
they
they
don't
literally,
even-
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, remember when Tom Clancy was alive? I mean, he did all those books and stuff, and pretty much Tom Clancy did a bunch of books with lots of great ideas. Sit down, you can actually read them and say, okay, let me bring up this idea in the game, see how it goes. You could probably make a game out of it and make it pretty good, like the Tom Clancy book. You got that franchise locked down in your hands, and you still have not taken the full advantage you got to take it. Man, I would take the full advantage I can, because Tom Clancy pretty much is the man of action on the action side of the books, or the war books.
I think the last thing I'll say on that real quick is I don't think they really need to go back to the content, right? Like I think they just need to look back at their history of games. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm
you
saying.
look back at the old Ghost Recons, you look back
Yeah.
at the old Rainbow Sixes and stuff. Even if they just look at their game history, they could see that they've separated themselves so far from what made them so good at that
Mhm.
point in time. And that's I think the most frustrating part is like I feel like we saw this from Bethesda there for a minute too, where all of a sudden it was, hey, we've got this card game that you should try. Hey, we've got this online game that you should try. You need to
Yep.
be on this service, blah blah blah. And it's like those things that they tied them to, like Elder Scrolls. I know it's popular, but I don't really care to play with a bunch of people online like I'm playing WoW or something. I'd rather just jump into a single player experience. Just like Fallout 76, where it's like, dude, I don't need to have a bunch of other vault dwellers that I have to deal with. I don't have to deal with like Chucky, the 14-year-old kid that lives down the street at me and's yelling at his mom for cookies while he's playing the game. Like I like those experiences in single player, and I
Yeah.
feel like they just forced it too much, to make some extra dough. It's a rough development to see what's going on with Ubisoft. But speaking of developments, we move on to the last main topic of the evening, which is that Gear 6 campaign development has started. A job listing suggests. So many people have reported that the coalition is working on multiple unannounced projects right now. We had already known that there was potentially something lining up before they did the next Gears game. So it sounds like there's a lot going on with that currently. One of them being the new IP, and then will serve as it'll be an experimental project to help them be more familiar with Unreal Engine 5. So for a while now, job ads have been published by Coalition that indicate that the studio has started the process of developing Gear 6, or whatever it ends up being called. Another recent job listing for the post is a lead mission designer, specific to Gears of War franchise, that suggests more specifically work on the game's campaign is underway. Throughout the listing, there's multiple mentions of single-player campaigns, missions, levels, with the ad mentioning that it's looking for someone who can help deliver highly engaging, high-quality campaign experiences. So, my question to the panel is, should Gear 6 be the last game in the franchise? And do you think there are more stories that could be told? So, Sour, we're going to start with you. We're going to see what your opinion is on these.
Ooh, you gonna throw me in the fire like that?
Yep, I am. And
Yep.
I'll give it to you again. So, do you think that it's going to be the last game in the franchise, or if it should be? And do you think if not, if they opt to continue on or maybe do offshoots, do you think that there are more stories to tell?
Okay, well, regarding the main line, the Gear 6, instead of, Gear 7, I think they shouldn't do a Gear 7 in the long, long time. I think they should take a break from the main line after this gear, and they should close this chapter. What I would do is, what I would like them to do is, I have two different options. One of them is I would like them to take kind of like a spin-off approach and make a horror game, with one of the civilians surviving, the locusts, and we see a different story of how, the civilian is running away from these creatures and basically surviving around, and you could do a nice storyline about that. I think that would be awesome, and it will give a different take on the story. Another one, I know the chat will probably kill me with this, and everyone here, but
God.
I feel like the coalition has the talent and they can do it, and I want to see this. I want to see Gears open world game where you can explore different stories. You can do, you can explore the world of Gears. Give me a fast open world game where I can do, a lot of different things. And I hopefully, the coalition, which I trust more, would do, a great job. Even though I gotta say, the Halo Infinite story wasn't bad. Their approach wasn't bad. The only thing is, unfortunately, they got us a little dry with content. We would be expecting by now, maybe at least they start teasing us with the next story within the universe. That would have been nice. But I think Gears, the Coalition have the talent where they will bring you a full-fledged game, which will be, pretty deep. Maybe something like, imagine, of course it's not going to play like The Witcher, but something deep like The Witcher with the Coalition. You change the mechanic a little bit. I think the mechanics are a little bit outdated for Gears. They need to work on that. Hopefully Gear 6, they fix some of that. And, I'm excited. I'm excited to see some of the different things you can do. And hopefully, you can build your, how you call it? The, not Spartan. In this case, what is it? Marine? No. What do you call the soldiers?
Cog soldier.
Well, the soldiers, you can build them the way you want to build. Maybe, you got different options. You can build them as tank. You can build them more, I don't know. I think they can play around with that. That's the approach I will go.
Okay. Okay, so real quick before we go on, I want air of grievances real fast. Man, an open world? Did you have that much fun with Gears of War 5's open world segments that were very, very empty?
Well, before we jump into that, I haven't finished it because my crew dumped me. By the way, Carlos Angelos, if you're there in the chat, I'm not mentioning any names, but they dumped me.
You did mention him. You're not mentioning any names. You did mention him.
Quiet. They dumped me. So, I was kind of like halfway and didn't finish it, but I will finish it eventually.
Here's my thoughts. Oh, go for it.
Real quick before you jump into that, I was just going to say Jedi Knight Peter did confirm it. Yeah, so Cogs. Cogs were the name of them. They were cogs in the machine.
Oh, yes.
It was the whole thing, right? But yeah, sorry, crazy. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I would just make it a semi open world. I wouldn't make it a full open world. Just make it a semi open world. But without that whole traveling like they were doing, like they were pretty much dog slaying, like
That's
delivering
the
goods like Santa
safe
Claus.
approach. That's the safe approach. Come on, let's go full blown.
There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with a safe approach every now and then.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna jump the shark, like it's okay every now and then to
But-
play the safe card.
But I'll give you an idea though. Let's say if they actually, let's say if they do it like that. But if they do it like that, I mean, I would have wanted to be kind of RPG type. Give you different weapons, upgrading, stuff like that.
No,
I
Gears
would-
RPG. No,
Yeah, it could happen. It could be fun. It could be fun.
It wouldn't be
If you
Gears.
want- if you want that, you have Gears Tactics.
Exactly. Go play that.
Go play your Gears
Okay.
Tactics.
I'm just getting out ideas, but still, again, I like the way the game is played either way. I mean, the game how it was played 4, 3, 2, 1. The fifth one, I haven't beaten it yet because me and my friends, since the Series X was coming along, we're just gonna wait for that to play it. So yeah, we're gonna sit down and play. We have that on the list after we finish Sniper Elite 4. No, Sniper Elite 5. My bad. We're gonna jump into that. That's gonna be our next.
Say,
focus.
man, if you
Yeah.
haven't finished 4 yet, man.
Yeah, we did finish 4.
You're not
yeah.
gonna get to Gears for a long
Can,
time.
can I throw something in real quick?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I played a little game called
Oh.
Binary Domain, which have a very cool mechanic where you have your characters and you give them like voice commands.
Yeah.
I feel like the Coalition, and especially with the technology they have now, they can implement so many different commands that you can tell your cogs, partners, and that can make the game feel like so immersive that even if you play it as a single player game, it's gonna feel like you're playing with other people. Cause like there were moments where I was playing Binary Domain and it was at night, and I would tell my my partners, I would be like, do this, do that, and I'll be like, oh shit, this is like it feels like I'm playing with other people. But then it will be a moment where of course you tell them to do a command and they wouldn't react the way they should react, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm playing a 360 game. but yeah, that would be cool.
The technology was real good at the time, but it just wasn't that good just yet.
Yeah.
But I'll give you an example. What I mean by semi-open world. I'll give an example. Like if I sit down and play Sniper Elite with my friend and we've been playing it, those missions last 2 hours. I mean, if they make Gears kind of like that, that would be a pretty awesome game. Gears like using all that silent and all that stuff going around and just fighting to get to an objective and doing side missions along the way, like it's in Sniper Elite. That would be a pretty cool Gears game if they do it like that. That would be pretty cool.
So crazy. While we're on you, real quick.
Yes,
just run
yes, sir.
through this real fast. Do you think it'll be, or do you think it should be the last one in the franchise?
It depends, though. It depends. It depends on how it ends, and it depends. Yeah, and also, what I would do is why don't just keep on adding content? Because seriously, if you're gonna continue games, because this is the thing that I have against games nowadays. I mean, why make part 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Just stay at one point. Just add content every year. Add something new to it. Add something to the story. Just
that's
it makes it a lot more
why.
easier.
That's why you make
Yeah.
Gear 7 an open world.
Crazy. You literally just walked right into Sour's trap on
he
that
walked
one.
into my trap.
You-
Got him.
No,
You literally just said that you wanted Gears to be games as a service.
Got him.
No. You can make Gears.
Yes.
No. But he said
That was 100% what you just said.
No. But he said
Oh,
open world
boy.
though. He said open world though. He said open world. I said semi-open
but
world.
Sir,
a difference.
how do you make a games as a service? Do you start with an open world?
Anyway,
So that way
let me
there's a lot
interrupt
to
you.
do?
Let me interrupt you guys.
I'll
Hold
give
on,
you an
crazy,
example.
crazy.
I'll give you an
Crazy.
example.
Let me-
I'll give an example.
Sour has the
Let's
floor.
interrupt
Sour
you.
has the
Okay.
floor.
Silent, how about you? Because we got short time and we still got the dessert. I want to give a quick take on the dessert. How about you, Chris?
Yeah. So I think they should do number 6, and just wrap it up there. maybe give it a good 5 or 10 year break, come back, do something down the road, do some offshoots or something like that. Or you could go in, you can remake it, I guess, if you wanted to. I think there are stories to be told, and I definitely like the idea you're saying of having like a horror type of approach.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Like you think back to that first game, trying to go through the light and staying in the light, otherwise you got taken out by locust or whatever. Like I could see those type of mechanics working out really well for a horror game potentially. But I definitely think after number 6, give it some time to breathe.
Yeah.
Right? Like give it some time to breathe. Let Coalition do something new, something big. I look at that Unreal Engine 5 demo that we saw of the Matrix, and all I could think when I saw that was like, dear God, kick Gears of War 6 out a few years and just give me a new Matrix game in this.
Yeah. Give us a John Wick game.
That's what I personally want. Yes, yeah. Give me a John Wick. Yes.
Oh, but there's the thing though. John Wick doesn't die either. John Wick is pretty much like Superman.
No, but he's still human.
It's
It's still not the same as having Superman.
It's just you can't kill his puppy. That's all.
Yeah, you can't kill his puppy. Well, you can kill his puppy, but
you can't kill his
if
puppy.
you kill his puppy, there will be consequences.
Remember, he killed the Baba Yaga. Superman has never killed Baba Yaga. He killed Baba Yaga.
Okay,
so
Yep, that's what they said.
So you know what? We're gonna skip to dessert now because I feel like we've had plenty of conversation with Gears. I think only time will tell. But regarding our dessert this evening, we'll make it quick. I'll try and speed read through some of this stuff. But per some tweets via Jason Schreier regarding GTA 6 and Rockstar culture change. That's going to be our dessert topic this evening. So, Jason Schreier ended up putting some tweets up saying that Rockstar has overhauled starting in 2018 when staff called out its culture of crunch, bullying, and frat house antics. The company has ousted managers accused of abuse and promised to cut down on overtime. One employee calls it a boys' club, transformed into a real company. He goes on saying that Rockstar removed transphobic jokes from most of the recent re-releases, GTA 5, and quietly canceled an online mode called Cops and Crooks after the George Floyd protests. Grand Theft Auto 6 will have a female Latina protagonist, the first playable woman in a modern Rockstar history. He continues on and says that production on Grand Theft Auto 6 has been slower than expected, largely due to pandemic, but also due to these changes, as employees grow accustomed to working at this new Rockstar. But many say morale is higher than it's ever been, and cultural changes are well worth the delays. So, some of the details that we have in regards to GTA 6 at this point, because things are scarce, but we know that it's a working title project. America's main location is a fictional version of Miami, its surrounding areas. The game will evolve over time, adding new cities. Game as a service, I think, is what we're looking at on that one potentially. The game world is already large, more interior locations than previous GTA games, which is big because, it just makes it feel more open when you can go into those storefronts. And yeah, based on the info we're finding out is that there's a female lead and Latina possibly. So that's awesome. That on its own is a big change for them. But some of those changes that they highlighted, right, are more producers to help avoid crunch, which is a great thing for them. They've done some schedule changes in regards to the games and the staffing, just to make it so it isn't a crunch situation. Conversion of contractors to full-time employees, so that way those employees actually have proper benefits baked into their jobs, instead of just being brought on for these things and let go as these dev times end up like finishing off or wrapping up. Removal of abusive employees, new mental health and leave benefits, and the staff is more flexible with their time. So, Sour, we're going to jump to you real quick on this. With the information regarding the female Latina lead for the next GTA, does this excite you as a Latino? And I'll add with that real quick. What do you expect? What do you expect from the character and the setting of this world? Obviously, like we talked about, it's a Miami setting or the surrounding areas. But what do you expect of this setting and the world if this information ends up being true?
Oh hell yeah, I'm all in for it. This is something I've been advocating for a long period of time. We also have other people like shout out to Danny Pena, Elaine Gomez that was one of our guests. This is something we need. We need more Latinos, characters in video games. And it's great that it's going to be actually a lead character. And I want to see the settings, kind of show a little bit, of, a little bit of our culture. It could be, probably since it's Miami, maybe it's a Cuban character. I don't know, because, there's a not... there's a lot of Cuban living in Miami. Maybe it could be Cuban. I don't know, or it could be from any other Latino community. But it's nice to see the cultural difference, and that I want to see that show into the game. And I don't want also the characters to be like repetitive, like you see like all the Latinos are all the same. No, I want to see different type of Latino characters, how they react different way, and to show like I just want to see more of the little details, which Rockstars are, they're a great studio at doing that. Like you play Red Dead Redemption, you play any of their games, and you go around the world and you see all the little details, all the little things that accomplish accompany the whole game as a whole. So yeah, I'm super excited, and I hope more Latino characters pops in different games here and there. Definitely.
Yeah, it sounds like the thing that's a real good takeaway is that going into this and going forward, potentially, like, those characters will be seen with more respect. It's not the stereotypical stuff that's come out in some of the games in the past. So that's great. I feel like that's a great step forward for them. Even if that was one of the only things that we heard that shifted for them, I feel like that's a major milestone for them. Is just, moving forward with the current times. Obviously things are different versus, when we played GTA 3 for the first time, or GTA Vice City, for example. Things have changed. Things are a little different now. So it's good to see that they're approaching it in a more respectful manner across the board for all characters. Crazy. I'm going to bounce over to you and get a little bit of your take on this thing. So, with the changes implemented in Rockstar, do you expect the quality of the games to improve, or do you think this will affect it? Do you think it'll be a positive effect or negative effect, some of these changes? And also, is it something that other studios should implement?
Let me tell you something. I mean, when I read all about this article, right, about the changes and the things that we're doing, this is going to be a really huge game. I mean, I sat down, I was like, whoa. I mean, these guys are going to make this game with bringing back the old maps and all that stuff, and bringing back all that stuff. Oh man, I was like, this is going to be like GTA 5. I mean, they're going to take this game and just stack it up for a long time, and of course, and something that Rockstar does, they improve each time they with their games. I mean, when you sit down, you look at Red Dead Redemption. I mean, it's a beautiful game. Even like I said, um, just the graphics wise, like when the sun hits your hand, you can see like the like
Yeah. Yeah,
you can see
you can see the light through your skin.
light. You
Yeah.
can literally see the light through
Yep.
your skin. That is crazy. When I saw
Yep.
that, I was like, that is amazing. I mean, it's just detail and everything in that game, especially when you hit a tree when you ride the horse. Oh man, I'm
Oh yeah.
interested.
No, it's a whole different level. Like,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
as a company, they've come a long
Yeah,
ways.
they have come a long way, and I know that this GTA 6 is gonna be awesome, and I know it's gonna be a long game because if they're gonna bring the previous GTA stuff in it, and they're gonna add new stuff to it, it's gonna be a big, huge game. And also, as the female protagonist, I just hope that they go all out with it and make it like she's like a big bad mama jammer, you know, like cool, try to make it cool, like yeah, like I'm the boss lady here, I'm gonna take over and I'm gonna kick butt, something like that.
Could be like this version's or this generation's version of Scarface.
But yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I gonna disagree with you there, Chris. I don't want to see that. I'm gonna be your rival on this, and the reason why is I'm seeing that all the games now that are impersonating like female characters, they all are making the female characters like these super strong, powerful characters. I mean, I want to see them also like they have to show me different how different feelings, different things. I don't want to see like Abby like in all the games. Like no, I want to see like
I'll give you an example. Have you seen Dread?
The movie?
The new one, right? Not
the new
not
one,
the old
the old one.
Stallone.
No, Dread, the new one. The one.
Yes.
The old one.
Yeah,
the old one's called Judge Dredd. This is Dread. You remember
Yes.
You remember the female character, the bad one?
Yeah.
Yes.
How did she do her role? I mean, that was awesome. Can you imagine this one just being like that? With that attitude. That's what I'm talking about. Not making them like, oh yeah, I'm super strong. I'm gonna lift the car. Nothing like that. No. I'm saying like to have that attitude.
Like Fei Li.
Fei Li.
Oh, I thought you didn't. You play Binary Domain?
No, I did not.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I keep making reference to that game. I don't know. I love that game.
I purchased it and downloaded it off of yours and Dark's reference, but I haven't played it yet.
I don't know. I love that game.
Because like I said, she has to be a tough woman in the criminal world. Because let me tell you something. I mean, there's something I read about there too. I was like, okay, so I kind of like understand it, and we talked about it earlier today also as a group, but the female role usually in the criminal world isn't as easy as the male role. So if you're gonna make this female role, you gotta make her like like if it was like it's a bad example, but pretty much like a Griselda Blanco type person, tough. Like I'm here and I'm gonna rule this and I'm gonna kick butt, And people were like scared, like, oh, she comes around, oh man, I'm scared of her. I can't even look at her weird, stuff like that, Make her tough, because seriously, that's how it is, and make her like Jake Vargas says, twice as vicious as men. Yeah, totally agree with you there, Jake Vargas. Totally agree with you there. Just like that, twice as vicious. Someone tough, like the movie Dread. Like I said, pretty much like that.
So we're gonna start trying to wrap this up real quick. But yeah. I did real quick want to ask you one more question, and we can make it a quick yes or no. But do you think that we will see Tommy Vercetti in there as a cameo in this new one, being the setting, and being as Vice City was also in a similar setting? Do you think we'll see Tommy Vercetti somewhere, or some of the other characters from Vice City in this new iteration?
I heard it was. Well, there's rumors that it could also be in Vice City, so that would be an immediate yes.
No,
because so that makes. But it still makes me wonder though, because like it's been a long time. Maybe they'll throw them in there as like a throwaway or something. But I'm just curious. Like, does that seem like a certain thing for you guys? Sour, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Crazy. Okay.
Because they said they were gonna bring up older maps and stuff, and so probably they could bring up older characters. You know, they probably could bring some in there, especially since it's the setting. What setting is it? 1960s, 70s? I forgot what the setting was. It was like an old setting.
The only it was what 70s.
70s,
The
yeah.
only thing that makes me sad about this, and we'll move forward right after, is unfortunately the departing of Ray Liotta, which means we will not have Tommy Vercetti voiced by Ray Liotta.
Oh yeah. Oh
Sorry to end that on a sad note.
yeah.
But yeah. So, do you guys have anything else to say on that, or are we gonna bounce to Descent?
Let's descend, because if we jump in, we might last another hour or two.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at our destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off this live stream. On behalf of Xbox International, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we look forward to seeing you on board next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I leave you with our co-pilot, Crazy Louie, for the outros.
All right. And before I go, I want to mention one last thing about the dessert topic, and I'm actually happy that Rockstar did hire more people to help cool down everyone over there so they can work nice and peacefully. That's a pretty good move on them, and I hope that they stop with the crunching and let people have a peaceful time. So yeah. Sour Blow. Sir, tell everybody where they can find you, my dear brother.
All right. Well, you can find me here every Wednesday, of course, at 7 p.m. in the Xbox International. You can find me Fridays in the Xbox community, XBI community night. I'm sorry, I'm just hot. I'm struggling with the words today. But anyway, this Friday we're gonna play Multiverses. Okay. So I want to see you guys there, please. We're going to be on Twitch, Xbox_International. And you can find me on Twitter, SourBlow18, Xbox SourBlow18, and on YouTube, SourBlow18. Please subscribe. I got actually a trailer lineup for August, the beginning of August. So stay tuned for that small little trailer. And maybe next week I'll give you some clues on what that trailer is going to be about.
All right, awesome. And Silence Cypher, our captain, where can everybody find you?
Right, well, you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Xbox, PlayStation, I think Nintendo Switch even, all over the place as Silent Cypher. If you ever want to play any video games, feel free to hit me up on an Xbox. That is my central hub for gaming. I'm not always on. If you see me playing a game that would be geared more towards adults, it's me. If you see something like Fortnite or Fall Guys, generally it's going to be my son. So just bear with me. Odds are I'm not going to be answering unless I'm playing with him as well.
Who was playing Fall Guys yesterday?
Well, yesterday, yes. But generally when I'm playing it with my son. So, but most importantly, you can find me here on XBI every week on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with these two beautiful bastards right here, Sour Blow and Crazy Louie Gaming, on the Crazy Louie Gaming channel.
All right. Awesome stuff.
How are you,
Hey,
Crazy?
me, man. Oof, before I say where everybody can find me, want to give a huge shout out to the chat. Hey, guys, you guys kept that chat rocking today. It was a lot of fun, especially when we were doing superhero talk. You guys wanted Booger Man, Dark Man. I want Booger Man back. I miss Booger Man. That would be a good game for them to bring back.
I thought you was gonna say Peacemaker.
Oh
I was like,
God.
no, we don't want that.
Wait, oh my, hell yeah, I want a Peacemaker, man. Do you really want to taste it? Oh man, that's even my cell phone. When you call me, that's how it sounds. Yeah, Peacemaker. Oh man, thank you for that idea. Oh Lord, but hey, chat, you guys are are awesome. You guys kept it rocking. Really had a fun time with y'all, and thank you for joining us on this awesome episode. Well, guys, where you can find the crazy one? It's easy. You can find me at Crazy Louie Gaming at Twitter, where I do a whole bunch of crazy stuff each and every single day, saying my good mornings and also giving out promos and shoutouts to everybody. You guys can always find me there. And every single week here on Xbox International at the Crazy Louie Gaming YouTube channel with my brother Silent and Sour Blow, and also Fridays community game nights. Yes. Oh man, that's where we hang out, have fun. So if you guys see us there, come and join us so we can enjoy your company and ours too. Have a lot of fun. Oh, what happened? Sour.
Yes.
Did the channel die?
No.
Oh, well, my bad. Okay, my bad. Sorry, guys. So one last thing before we go, guys. Again, please subscribe, hit the like button, and also please comment below. Our comments are really appreciated if you guys leave us a comment. Really, guys, totally appreciate it. So, guys, as I always say, remember. Let's go. Let's rock and let's get crazy. Yes. See you all next Wednesday. Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to the XBI Podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe on the way out. We'll see you next time.